What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out a brand new e-bike. The one that we have here today, it's called the MOKWHEEL Scoria. So this is a type of cargo e-bike that has 20-inch wheels on the front and of course on the back, and we also get the 4-inch wide tires. So this is kind of like a fat tire cargo bike. Now this bike is powered by a 750 watt motor that's located in the rear wheel there, but if you do check the website, this is the European version of this bike. If you do check the website, it does say 250 watts on the website. However, this bike is powered by a 750 watt motor 100%. We have hydraulic disc brakes on the front and on the back, and we also have a front suspension. With that being said, let's start by doing a bit of an unboxing just so I can show you how the bike comes packed in the box and what you have to do to get this ready and on the road. Okay, so as you'd expect, the bike comes in a pretty big box. Of course, the box is also pretty heavy. The bike itself is actually pretty heavy, so the weight of this bike is just under 38 kilos. So it's not gonna be easy to carry this around, and you may need a second person to move that box around because it is quite heavy. So you do have to do a bit of an installation when you take this out of the box. You basically have to put the handlebar here together, you have to put that front mud guard and the front wheel together, and of course the seat. All in is going to take you about half an hour, and overall it is a fairly easy installation process but a bit time consuming. Taking a quick look at the bike itself, well, this looks a bit different than most other cargo bikes out there, and I feel that this actually looks a bit better, mostly in this white color that we have here. So the frame on this one is thicker than most other cargo bikes, and that's because the battery pack is actually located right here. You can also remove the battery pack, so you don't necessarily have to charge the battery pack into the bike. You can take out the battery and charge it at home. Now, the manufacturer says that the range for this bike is between 50 and 85 kilometers. In my experience, you should be able to get about 40 kilometers easily. Now, because this is the EU version of this bike, this is limited to 25 kilometers an hour, and we do not get an accelerator on the right hand side here. If you do buy this bike in the US, for example, you do get an accelerator and you can accelerate without pedaling. Now, this bike also has a torque sensor, so this is a bit different than most other cargo e-bikes out there, because most other cargo e-bikes do have a speed sensor. So basically, with a torque sensor, as soon as you push the pedal, the bike will assist you. The more you push the pedal, the more power the bike will give you. So I'm gonna say that pedaling with this bike is closer, the experience is closer to having a regular bike. But again, you do have a 750 watt motor on the back there that helps you pedal. So pretty much on any surface, it doesn't matter if you're going on a flat road, if you're going uphill, you do have plenty of power for any situation. So very easy to take this bike on any terrain, I'm gonna say. This bike also gets better tires when compared to other cargo e-bikes that I got to try in the past. So even though these are 4-inch wide tires, so we still have the fat tire design, these ones are more street oriented. Other e-bikes that I've tried in the past, other cargo e-bikes that I've tried in the past, typically have more off-roady tires. So the tires on this one are better for street riding. So this also handles better than most other cargo e-bikes that I got to try. And of course that has a lot to do with those tires that don't have that off-roady profile. The Scoria also gets a front suspension. Now, the travel for the front suspension is nothing to write home about. So about 2 inches. This is probably the same suspension that we see on most other cargo e-bikes out there. So it's not terrible, but not amazing. However, it will help whenever you go over uneven terrain, even though since we have these massive tires on the front and on the back, those will help a lot to soak up the bumps from the road. So if you want to do a bit of off-road with this bike, I guess you can, but I wouldn't go jumping curves with it and jumping over rocks and stuff like that, mostly because the bike is not designed for that. We also get a nice and wide seat. The seat is pretty comfortable for longer rides, so if you're riding for a couple of hours, no problems at all. And I also want to talk about the brakes. So the bike is using hydraulic disc brakes. These are also a brand name brakes, so they're not random brakes that you would find on a lot of Chinese e-bikes. So better brakes on these ones, not to mention that they do work really well. So in any condition you can stop the bike safely, and they don't actually make noise whenever you're riding. So no scratchy noises or anything like that. So you also get a comfortable and quiet ride. The bike also has plastic mudguards on the front and on the back, and even though I didn't get the chance to ride the bike in the rain, it didn't really rain here over the past few days, they do seem like they would protect you from all that splashing. On the back we also get this rack, so this would come in handy if you'd be to carry something with a bike. I wouldn't necessarily have a passenger sitting on the back there, but for a backpack or something like that, that could work good. On the back and on the front, of course, we have the taillight and the headlight. The headlight is bright enough to be seen during the day, and of course bright enough at night so it can light the path ahead of you. And you can kind of see the taillight during the day as well. The bike is also equipped with a 7-gear Shimano shifter. Shifting gears up and down works flawlessly out of the box, so I don't actually have to adjust anything, it just works. Plus, you get that together with that 750-watt motor. You can basically go up any hill, and you don't actually have to put that much effort into going up any hill. So I'm very, very happy with the power that we get from this bike. All right, so next we have a super quick hill climbing test. I'm in the 2nd gear and assistance level 5, and I'm just gonna go that way. So as soon as I start pedaling, the bike will start assisting me. So as you can see, I don't actually have to put that much effort into pedaling, just the initial pedal push, I'm gonna say. So the bike does really good for hill climbing. Now moving on to the handlebar. So the handlebar, you can kind of adjust how far or how close it is to you when you first install this. So that's a great thing, because this way you can ride as comfortable as you want. If you want to lean forward a bit, you can just install the handlebar forward a bit. But if you want to have a nice relaxed ride, you can just install it a bit more towards the back basically, and then you're gonna get a more relaxed ride. So I'm very happy that this is kind of adjustable in a way. I mean, you're not gonna be able to do it on the go, but you can do it whenever you have tools and you're at home. The grips here are made out of a leather-like material. I don't believe this is leather, however, they do feel really nice to touch. And we also have some gel pads on the sides here. So whenever you're resting your palms like this, it is quite comfortable. The brake levers are made out of metal. We have the shifter on the right-hand side. We have the bell on the left here. Not a bad bell. And then we have some buttons on the left hand side. In the center here we have the screen, and even though the screen doesn't get crazy bright, you can still see it even if it's a super sunny day out, like today for example. So you can see the screen in most situations. Now the screen doesn't have the most information on it. It will show you the speed, it will show you how much battery you have, the odometer and stuff like that. But overall, not that much information being displayed on the screen, but good enough, I'm gonna say. Alright, so let me quickly show you how you'd use this bike. So we have the power button right here. You hold this pressed for about 4 seconds or so, and then the screen will come on. It says hello at first, and then from here you'd switch assistance levels. So we'll go in assistance level 3. So basically, as soon as you start pedaling, you're gonna hear the motor kicking in. So as soon as you push on that pedal, since this has a torque sensor, the more you push, the harder you push, the more power it will give you. So let me show you. So you can reach 25 kilometers an hour very, very fast. We'll do a brake test right here. So the brakes do work quite well. You can lock those wheels if you really want to, but I don't want to do that. We'll do another brake test in just a second. So we're in assistance level 3 right now, and we'll do a brake test here. So really good brakes. So of course, the higher the assistance level, the more power will give you when you push those pedals. So let's go to assistance level 5. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. And I'll push on the pedal a bit harder. So as soon as you do that, the bike will give you more power. So you can reach that top speed really fast. The shifter works great. This is the last gear. So it does work exceptionally well, not to mention it is extremely quiet as well. So to quickly conclude this video, the MOKWHEEL Scoria looks really good for a cargo e-bike. I think this is one of the best looking cargo e-bikes that you can currently buy, mostly in this white color that I got here. The bike is also quite comfortable to ride. I love the fact that you can kind of adjust the handlebar to be closer to you or further away from you. The seat is quite comfortable. I love these wheels that we have on this bike because it makes the handling on the regular road much better than most other cargo e-bikes out there, and it also has plenty of power with that 750 watt motor that we have in the rear wheel there. The only downside is that we don't get the accelerator like the US model, but I guess that's because of the EU regulations. But overall, a really nice bike. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.